So look, if you want to grow your wealth, your income, and increase the amount of time off, then these are the shortcuts that can help. Welcome to the Wealth Creation Podcast. It's Daniel Latto speaking. Hope you're well. So it's back to school, everybody. Maybe not for you, certainly for the kids. We're in that kind of time of year where kids are supposed to be going back to school. If not last week, then this week. If not this week, then next week, mostly. We say mostly because really we're still in COVID-19 coronavirus territory. Nobody really knows what's going on still to this day. And obviously the UK government's messages are as clear as mud. However, today, both my wife and my child went back to school, and although there was a tendency to get straight back into work, we're going to take a couple of days off and just recuperate. We've had a 6-month summer holiday. March was the last time that they were at work and at school. And normally for me, I'm here on my own. I work on my own timescale. It's very quiet, it's very peaceful. And then literally for the last 6 months, we've not had any of that. Every single day, every single hour, and every single minute is filled with doing something for the family. So my level of my level of work and efficiency has been about 25% as to what it should have been, which is really obviously taken a big hit compared to if it was 100% and what we could have achieved over the last 6 months. That said, we're very happy at operating at a 25% level for the last 6 months. It meant that we got the stuff done that we needed to get done. We didn't make massive leaps and bounds compared to where we could have been if we'd have hit the full 100% efficiency. That said, however, we took on an estate agency. We took on a building company in London. We're 25% director of that. So we've been buying businesses, or we've been acquiring businesses, I should say. We had a big business that fell through, which was a 7-figure business turnover wise, and it fell through just at the last hurdle. That's probably a good thing in hindsight anyway. But you kind of think about how many businesses could we have taken over and how much further forward could we have been. But look, do you know what? The bottom line for us is we're alive, we're profitable, income's going up, we're investing in assets more than ever before. And so that compared to where some other people have been, which has been losing jobs, losing the home, losing their health, let's just say it that way, we've come out of it very well, and we're very grateful for that, and touch wood, that will continue. But look, there's a real tendency, everyone's back at work or back at school, the kids are now back and it's peaceful around the house, let's get straight back into work. And I'm not a great believer in doing that. I actually think that you should pull back a little bit and just hold your horses, just slow it down. First things first, let's get a list of everything that you need to get done for September. Let's reset some targets and goals. And let's also remember that although people might be going back to work and school this week or next week or whenever that happens to be, that might be for a temporary period of time. The schools might close again. The offices and the workplaces might close again. And obviously not all of those are fully open either. Certainly we've been speaking to people at the management companies for our developments. Some of those guys are still not back at work. They're still furloughed and still at home. And obviously furlough is going to finish soon as well. And then who knows what the fallout's going to be from that? People losing their job, people being redundant. One of my tenants, in fact, has just had 2 redundancies. And then, believe it or not, their car was stolen from the garage whilst it was having its MOT. You couldn't make that up. We actually give them a 25% discount. Not a discount, a 25% deferred rent. So they drop their rent, they're going to pay that back later in this year or start of next year. And we're giving them easy payment plans, payment terms to do that, just to help them along. But if you're desperate to get back into it, I just think you need to slow down a bit, because this is one of the mistakes that people tend to make when they have a lot of work to do. Let me give you the analogy. It's like building a house and having all the bricks laid out. And you're going, oh, I'm so busy. I've got 30 days to build a house. I'm so busy. And you just start building and bricks and building more bricks. And then you step back in 30 days and the house is a complete and utter mess. It's not safe. It's going to fall down at any moment. It's because you didn't have a blueprint for what you're supposed to build the house into. Laying bricks is no good, just laying bricks. You've got to have a plan, and you lay bricks to the plan. So step number 1, if you're just coming back and you've got all this stuff to do and you're really busy and you know you've got a mountain to climb and just the sheer amount of work you've got to do, you've got to step back and plan your route climbing up that mountain. You've got to step back and plan, what's the best way of doing this? Am I best building the house by laying the bricks first, or do I do the plastering first, or maybe the plumbing first, or do I put the windows in, or maybe I put the roof on first before the foundations? Maybe that's how I do it. Obviously, that's wrong. You need to sit down and have a firm, solid plan. And this is one of the things that I see so many people pushing back on constantly, time and time again, is this concept of having a firm plan. They go, no, Dan, you don't understand. They always start with that. You don't understand. I'm so busy. I'm just going to spend all day long planning. And I'm like, dude, seriously, you're going to spend the next 7 days a week, 4 weeks a month, for 12 months a year just planning? Like, it's almost virtually impossible for you even to do that. But why don't you try that and see how far you get? Because it doesn't work like that. That's not what planning does. Because you come up with a plan, you then see what needs to be done, what's urgent, what's important, who's shouting the loudest that you need to just resolve. And then you can start getting into work and you get that done. And then you get to the following week and then you plan again. And then you get to the following week and then you plan again. That's how you're supposed to be doing it. So I actually spent this morning, first of all, I was doing two things. I was watching last night's NBA basketball, which is the most exciting basketball I've seen for a long, long time. Like game-winning shots with half a second left, 2 points down, half a second left. The guy gets the ball, shoots a fall-away three-point shot, wins the game. Another game, the scores were drawn, and the guy shot the ball, got fouled, ran out of time, went to the free-throw line, no lineup, won the game with 0 time on the clock. And the thing is that it's never too late to win. People go, it's too late for me to start investing. I mean, I started investing at age 26, believe it or not. I'm 48 now, so that's 22 years. It's a long time. And people at my age are going, it's too late now. It's totally not too late. But you've got to plan everything that you do. Don't just dive straight in and start spending money on investments and Tesla and Amazon and all this stuff. You've got to plan. So the word for today, folks, is planning. You've got to plan this week. We're in September. You've got September, October, November. You've got December. You've got 4 months left. So we got a third of the way through this year. So you've done 2/3. You've still got a third left. You can do amazing things. I watched a game last night and they were 23 points down. They still lost, by the way, but they came back and took the lead by like 6 points. So even though they were 23 points down, they still took the lead. They were like 29 points difference, right? It doesn't matter whether you're 2/3 of the way through the year, a third of the way through the year. If you're 11/10, if it's the start of December today and you've got 30 days to turn this year around, make it amazing. Trust me on this. That could be the half-second shot where you win the game. The whole 47 minutes, 59 and a half seconds were completely irrelevant. The guy took the shot with half a second left and he won the game. Your whole of 2020 up to now could be irrelevant. It's what you're going to do in the last 4 months. And if today was the start of December, what are you going to do in the last 30 days? And if you've got a week left at the end of the year, what are you going to do in those last 7 days? You can move mountains, but you've got to start having a plan. All right, that will do us for today. Quick, short one. I'm off to watch another game from last night. Other than that, we'll speak to you. We're live again on Wednesday. We're back going live almost every day because everyone's back at work, which is really cool. So we'll speak to you on Wednesday with the property sourcing, the property cash flow show, I should say. We'll probably talk about property sourcing then. Until then, stay safe, enjoy work or home time or whatever happens to be. If you want to take a day off, go for it. And we'll speak to you on Wednesday. My name's Dan Latto. Take care. Hey, it's Dan here. Thank you for listening. Really appreciate each and every one of you. Please click like or subscribe to the entire podcast.